Today we will read a summary of the next 5 chapters of Living in the Light. Living in the Light, Chapter 6, The World as Our Mirror. In Chapter 6 of Living in the Light, titled The World as Our Mirror, Shakti Gawai explores the concept that the external world reflects our inner states, beliefs, and emotions. This chapter emphasizes that our external experiences serve as a mirror, showing us what is happening within ourselves. By recognizing this, we can take responsibility for our lives and make changes from the inside out. The world reflects our inner states. Gawai begins by explaining that every interaction we have, whether positive or negative, is a reflection of our own inner landscape. If we experience conflict, frustration, or joy, it is a direct reflection of what is happening inside us. For example, if we constantly feel anger towards someone, it might be that we are ignoring unresolved anger within ourselves. This concept challenges us to shift from blaming others or external circumstances for our feelings to taking personal responsibility. It empowers us to recognize that by changing our inner world, we can also change our external reality. Projection and self-awareness. Gawai discusses the psychological mechanism of projection, where we project our unresolved emotions or issues onto other people. If we dislike certain qualities in someone, it may be because those qualities exist within us, either consciously or unconsciously. She encourages readers to view their reactions to others as opportunities for self-reflection. Through this self-awareness, we can heal the parts of ourselves that we have disowned or ignored. Instead of seeing others as the problem, we can see them as mirrors showing us what we need to address within ourselves. Embracing the shadow. One of the key ideas in this chapter is embracing the shadow self. The shadow refers to the parts of our personality that we have repressed or denied because they do not fit with our ideal self-image. Gawai suggests that by acknowledging and integrating these aspects, we can become more whole and authentic. Instead of fearing or avoiding our shadow, we can learn from it. It is often through our shadow that we discover hidden strengths, creativity, and deeper understanding of who we truly are. Relationships as mirrors. The chapter highlights the importance of relationships in personal growth. Gawai explains that our relationships, especially the challenging ones, offer the most powerful mirrors for self-awareness. The people who trigger strong emotional reactions in us, whether love, anger, or frustration, are often showing us aspects of ourselves that we need to work on. By approaching relationships with this understanding, we can use them as tools for healing and transformation. Instead of getting caught in blame or judgment, we can ask ourselves what the relationship is revealing about our inner world. Taking responsibility and empowerment. The core message of this chapter is one of personal empowerment. Gawai reminds us that when we view the world as our mirror, we can no longer be victims of circumstance. We have the power to change our inner world and, by extension, transform our experiences in the outer world. This perspective encourages us to look inward and take responsibility for our lives. It also opens the door to deeper healing and self-discovery, as we learn to see our external challenges as opportunities for growth. Living in the Light, Chapter 7, Your Inner Guides. In Chapter 7 of Living in the Light, titled Your Inner Guides, Shakti Gawai introduces the concept of connecting with inner guidance or intuition as a way to navigate life more effectively. This chapter emphasizes the importance of trusting one's inner wisdom, as it helps individuals make decisions aligned with their higher purpose and deeper truth. The power of intuition. Gawai begins by explaining that everyone has access to inner guidance or intuition, which serves as a valuable tool for navigating the complexities of life. While logic and rational thinking are important, They often fall short in situations where the best path forward is not clear. In such cases, intuition can offer deeper insight and clarity. The author stresses that learning to trust and follow one's inner voice is key to living a more fulfilling and authentic life. This inner guidance may not always seem rational or logical, but it often points to what is most aligned with our true self. Developing inner listening. According to Gavai, many people have been conditioned to ignore or suppress their inner voices, often due to societal pressure or fear of judgment. She encourages readers to develop the ability to listen to their intuition by becoming more attuned to their thoughts, emotions, and subtle feelings. Meditation, mindfulness, and spending time in nature are suggested as ways to cultivate a stronger connection to one's inner guidance. By quieting the mind and tuning into the present moment, it becomes easier to hear the subtle nudges and insights that intuition provides. Differentiating inner guidance from fear. A major theme in this chapter is learning to differentiate between inner guidance and fear. Gavai explains that fear is often loud and urgent, while intuition is quiet and calm. Fear tends to stem from insecurity, past experiences, or external pressures, while intuition is rooted in a deeper knowing that comes from the soul. The author advises readers to practice discernment by paying attention to how their body and emotions react to different situations. Intuition often brings a sense of peace, even in difficult decisions, whereas fear creates tension and confusion. Following your inner voice. Gavai highlights the importance of acting on inner guidance, even when it feels uncomfortable or goes against conventional wisdom. She acknowledges that this can be challenging, especially when others disagree or when the outcome is uncertain. However, she reassures readers that following their inner voice leads to personal growth and greater alignment with their true path. Over time, as individuals become more accustomed to trusting their intuition, they develop greater confidence in their ability to navigate life's challenges with ease and clarity. Inner guidance in relationships. This chapter also touches on how inner guidance can be applied to relationships. Gavai suggests that intuition can help individuals navigate conflicts and challenges in relationships by offering insight into what is really needed in a situation. By listening to their inner voice, people can approach relationships with greater empathy, understanding, and authenticity. Conclusion. In essence, Chapter 7 serves as a reminder that each person has access to a wellspring of inner wisdom that can guide them through life. By developing a strong connection to intuition, individuals can make choices that are more aligned with their true selves, leading to a deeper sense of fulfillment and purpose. Living in the Light, Chapter 8, Spirit and Form. In Chapter 8 of Living in the Light, titled Spirit and Form, Shakti Gavai explores the relationship between the spiritual and physical aspects of life. She highlights how balancing both spirit and form is essential for living a harmonious and fulfilling life. According to Gavai, recognizing the significance of both dimensions helps us align with our true purpose and live in a way that is both spiritually enriched and practically grounded. The nature of spirit. Gavai begins by explaining that the spirit represents the non-physical, eternal essence of who we are. It is the life force that animates all living things and connects us to the divine or universal consciousness. Spirit is formless, infinite, and beyond the material world, yet it is a crucial part of our being. She stresses that connecting with our spiritual side involves going beyond our ego and identity, tapping into the deeper, intuitive knowledge that comes from this universal energy. When we are in tune with spirit, we feel a sense of peace, love, and oneness with everything around us. The nature of form. Form, on the other hand, refers to the physical, tangible aspects of existence, our bodies, material possessions, and the external world we interact with daily. While spirit is boundless, form is limited by time, space, and the constraints of the material world. However, Gavai emphasizes that form is not something to be rejected or ignored, as it is the means through which spirit manifests itself in the physical world. Gavai suggests that both aspects, spirit and form, are necessary and complementary. By embracing form, we allow the creative energy of spirit to flow into the material realm, bringing our ideas, visions, and dreams into reality. Balancing spirit and form. The core message of the chapter is finding a balance between spirit and form. Gavai explains that many people either focus too much on their spiritual side, neglecting the practical aspects of life, or they become overly consumed by the material world, losing touch with their inner self. For example, someone deeply connected to their spiritual self might ignore their basic needs, avoiding responsibilities like earning a living or maintaining relationships. Conversely, someone fixated on form may pursue material success but feel disconnected from a deeper sense of purpose or inner peace. Gavai encourages readers to balance these two aspects by grounding their spiritual insights in practical actions. Living spiritually doesn't mean renouncing the physical world, but instead integrating spiritual awareness into everyday life. She advises that we focus on using spiritual energy to create tangible results, such as pursuing meaningful work, nurturing relationships, and taking care of our physical health. The process of creation. This chapter also touches on the process of creation, which Gavai describes as the flow of energy from spirit into form. She explains that every creative process begins with inspiration from spirit, a vision, idea, or intuitive insight, and then moves into the physical realm through action. By aligning our actions with the guidance of our inner spirit, we can manifest our true desires and create a life that is both spiritually aligned and materially fulfilling. Gavai stresses the importance of trust in this process, as it requires faith in our inner guidance and a willingness to allow the form to develop in its own time. Trusting the process. One of the key challenges in balancing spirit and form is trusting the timing and unfolding of events. Gavai discusses how many people feel frustrated when their dreams don't materialize as quickly as they expect. She advises patience, explaining that spirit often works on a different timeline than our physical reality. By trusting that the universe has a plan and that things will manifest at the right time, we can release our need for control and allow the process to unfold naturally. This doesn't mean being passive, but rather staying open to opportunities and taking inspired action while trusting the larger flow of life. Integrating spirituality into daily life. At the heart of the chapter is the idea that spirituality should not be separate from daily life. Gavai emphasizes the importance of integrating spiritual awareness into every aspect of our existence, from work and relationships to health and personal development. By doing so, we bring spirit into form and live in a way that is both deeply connected and grounded. This integration allows us to experience both inner fulfillment and outer success, as we become co-creators of our reality. Conclusion. Chapter 8 of Living in the Light serves as a reminder that spirit and form are not opposites, but two essential aspects of life that need to be balanced for personal growth and fulfillment. By harmonizing our spiritual and physical selves, we can create a life that reflects our highest purpose while also thriving in the material world. Living in the Light, Chapter 9, The Male and Female Within. In Chapter 9 of Living in the Light, titled The Male and Female Within, Shakti Gavai delves into the balance between the masculine and feminine energies present in every individual, regardless of gender. She explains that these two forces, when harmonized, can lead to a more balanced, fulfilling, and empowered life. The chapter focuses on recognizing and integrating these energies to achieve personal growth and a deeper understanding of oneself. Understanding masculine and feminine energies. Gavai begins by describing the qualities traditionally associated with masculine and feminine energies. The masculine is typically seen as assertive, rational, active, and goal-oriented. It represents the aspects of ourselves that are focused on achieving, controlling, and directing energy outward into the world. In contrast, the feminine energy is receptive, intuitive, nurturing, and passive. It embodies the qualities of allowing, being open, and connecting with one's inner self and emotions. She points out that these descriptions are not based on gender but are archetypal energies that exist within every person. Both men and women have masculine and feminine energies within them, and a healthy, balanced individual learns to recognize and honor both. The imbalance of energies. Gavai emphasizes that most people have an imbalance in these energies due to cultural conditioning. In modern society, masculine energy is often overemphasized, with a strong focus on achievement, productivity, and outward success. This leads many individuals to suppress or devalue their feminine energy, which manifests as a lack of connection to their emotions, intuition, or inner guidance. For example, many people are taught to prioritize logic and rationality over intuition and creativity. This imbalance can create feelings of stress, disconnection, and a sense of emptiness, as they may feel disconnected from their true selves. Gavai argues that the key to overcoming this imbalance is to consciously develop and embrace both the masculine and feminine aspects within us. Integrating masculine and feminine. The central theme of the chapter is the need to integrate both energies to create a more harmonious and empowered life. Gavai explains that integrating these energies means allowing them to work together rather than keeping them in conflict. The masculine and feminine energies complement each other, and when balanced, they create a powerful synergy. To do this, Gavai encourages individuals to cultivate greater awareness of their inner masculine and feminine energies. This can be done through introspection, meditation, and paying attention to one's emotions and behaviors. She suggests noticing when you are overly controlling or rigid, masculine imbalance, and when you are too passive or indecisive, feminine imbalance. The goal is to bring awareness to these patterns and create space for the other energy to emerge when necessary. Examples of balance. In practical terms, this balance might look like a person who can both plan and take decisive action, masculine, while also being flexible and open to intuitive insights, feminine. For instance, someone might set clear goals for their career, masculine energy, but also trust their instincts when making decisions or shifting directions, feminine energy. In relationships, it could mean balancing the desire for independence, masculine, with the ability to be vulnerable and emotionally connected, feminine. By learning to embrace both aspects, individuals can become more creative, adaptable, and emotionally attuned while still maintaining the focus and drive needed to achieve their goals. Healing the inner divide. Gavai also touches on how healing the inner masculine and feminine divide can positively impact relationships. Often, conflicts in relationships arise when one person is overly identified with one energy, leading to imbalance. For instance, one partner may be highly dominant or controlling, overemphasis on masculine energy, while the other is overly passive or dependent, overemphasis on feminine energy. By healing and integrating these energies within themselves, individuals can approach relationships with greater understanding, balance, and harmony. They can honor both their needs for independence and emotional connection without feeling conflicted or constrained. Conclusion. Chapter 9 of Living in the Light offers a profound insight into the importance of balancing the masculine and feminine energies within each individual. Gawai's message is that when we embrace both energies, we can live more authentically, find inner harmony, and create deeper, more fulfilling relationships. By recognizing and integrating these two forces, we empower ourselves to live more fully and align with our highest potential. Living in the Light, Chapter 10, Men and Women. In Chapter 10 of Living in the Light, titled Men and Women, Shakti Gawai discusses the dynamics between men and women, exploring how societal roles and conditioning have influenced relationships and the way men and women perceive themselves and each other. The chapter emphasizes the importance of understanding and balancing the masculine and feminine energies within each gender for personal and relational harmony. Societal conditioning and gender roles. Gawai begins by discussing how, over time, society has assigned specific roles to men and women, with distinct expectations for each gender. Traditionally, men have been seen as the providers, protectors, and decision-makers, while women have been relegated to nurturing, emotional, and passive roles. These rigid gender roles have historically led to a power imbalance between the sexes, resulting in oppression, inequality, and misunderstandings. She explains that while many of these roles were established to maintain order and structure in society, they have often limited the full expression of individuality for both men and women. Men have been conditioned to suppress their emotional and nurturing sides, while women have been taught to devalue their assertive and intellectual capacities. This conditioning creates internal conflict, as each gender struggles to embody the fullness of their masculine and feminine energies. Reclaiming the balance of masculine and feminine. The core message of the chapter is the need for both men and women to reclaim and balance their masculine and feminine energies. As previously discussed in the chapter on the male and female within, Gawai reiterates that each person contains both energies, regardless of their biological sex. Men must embrace their feminine qualities, nurturing, intuition, and emotional openness, while women need to reclaim their masculine qualities, such as assertiveness, rationality, and the ability to take action. By balancing these energies, individuals can live more authentic lives and create healthier relationships. Gawai emphasizes that it's crucial for men to connect with their softer, more vulnerable sides without feeling as though they are compromising their masculinity. Similarly, it's important for women to express their independence and strength without feeling they are betraying their femininity. Changing relationships. As men and women begin to integrate these energies, Gawai believes that the dynamics of relationships will naturally change. In traditional relationships, where rigid roles have been the norm, there is often an imbalance of power and a lack of genuine emotional connection. Men may feel the need to dominate or control, while women might suppress their true desires in order to keep the peace or maintain harmony. This can lead to frustration, resentment, and a lack of fulfillment in relationships. However, when both partners embrace their full selves and balance their energies, relationships can evolve into partnerships based on mutual respect, equality, and emotional intimacy. In such relationships, each person is free to express their authentic selves without fear of judgment or rejection. This creates a foundation for deeper connection and love. Breaking free from patriarchal conditioning. One of the key themes in this chapter is breaking free from patriarchal conditioning. Gawai explains that patriarchy has enforced a belief system in which masculine qualities are considered superior, while feminine qualities are often seen as weak or inferior. This belief has not only oppressed women but also restricted men from accessing their full range of emotions and expressions. By doing this, men and women can create new paradigms of power that are rooted in love, cooperation, and mutual respect, rather than domination and control. Gawai believes that this shift is essential not only for individual growth but also for the collective healing of society. The impact of balancing energies on society. Gawai argues that as more individuals begin to balance their masculine and feminine energies, society as a whole will experience a transformation. Many of the problems we face today, violence, inequality, and environmental degradation, are rooted in an overemphasis on masculine qualities such as competition, aggression, and control. By embracing feminine qualities like cooperation, compassion, and nurturing, both men and women can contribute to creating a more harmonious and sustainable world. Gawai believes that this shift in consciousness will lead to more egalitarian societies, where both genders are valued equally, and the gifts of both masculine and feminine energies are celebrated. Conclusion. Chapter 10 of Living in the Light emphasizes the importance of men and women reclaiming their true selves by balancing their masculine and feminine energies. Shakti Gawai's message is clear. Only by embracing the wholeness of our being can we create fulfilling relationships and a more harmonious society. By breaking free from the limitations of traditional gender roles and societal conditioning, both men and women can live more authentic, empowered lives. This balance not only fosters personal growth but also contributes to the healing and evolution of humanity as a whole.